Long ago, there lived a holy man who lived in the forest, spending his time in meditation and prayer. Once it so happened that he needed some money for a worthy cause. And so he thought, who to ask for money than the king of the land? Having thought so, he made his way towards the palace. When he reached the palace gates, the palace guards showed him due respect, as was the custom in the ancient Vedic way of life. And they ushered him to the king's chamber and requested him to wait, as the king was busy praying in his prayer room. Now the monk was very happy to hear that the king was praying and was so devoted to God. And he was curious to see how the king was praying. So the monk didn't wait there, and he made his way to the king's prayer room, curious to see the king praying. In the prayer room, although the king was praying silently, the monk, by virtue of his spiritual power, could read the king's thoughts and realized that the king was praying for more wealth, for victory over other kingdoms, and to acquire an even bigger empire. Having realized what the king was praying for, the monk, who had been in the room only for a couple of minutes, didn't want to wait any longer and was about to leave. Now by this time, the king, having finished his prayer, looked back and saw the monk was about to leave the room. Curious about the purpose of the monk's visit, the king quickly walked over to the monk and bowed down to him with due respect and asked him why he was so eager to leave and why he had come to the king in the first place. The monk said, "O king, I am but a simple beggar who had come here to beg you for some money. But now I see it was a mistake, and hence I am leaving." This made the king even more curious, and the king inquired, "Why do you think it was a mistake?" The monk said, "After listening to your prayer, I realized I could not ask you, because that would only be like begging from a beggar." The king was perplexed. "O noble saint, your words are confusing me even further. What do you mean by that?" The monk smiled and replied, "Dear king, you think you are praying, but what you are actually doing is begging from God. Being on your knees before God, you are pleading for more wealth, more power, and an even bigger empire. This made me think that if I have to beg for money, why not then beg from God myself, rather than begging from someone who's begging God himself? Because after all, only a fool would beg from a beggar."